Alright, hey guys, welcome back to the video. Welcome back to the channel, I should say. Today we're just going to do a quick kind of show and tell on the Cessna Longitude. We're currently at Canberra Airport in Australia. It's nearly sunrise. Oh, sorry, it is sunrise. We're Romeo Fox 643. We flew here a couple of hours ago, parked up, and we've slept the night, and we're waking up, and getting the aircraft ready for another beautiful day of flying. So, I mean, in Flight Simulator 2024, we hopefully will be able to walk around the outside of every plane, but not sure if they're going to model, every plane on the outside so we can walk around it. But we'll have to wait and see. We got I think it's a 717. I could be totally wrong. Loading up in there. Beautiful car park off here, and there's the Canberra Airport just over here. Runway 35 behind us, and I believe 17 is the other end. Could be wrong. But yeah, so we'll get started. So come in the cockpit, close the curtain. Alright, hop on in here, get comfy on these leather seats. I think they would be padded, but oh well. Alright, so first thing we do, and this is following a procedure, but I'm just kind of used to it now, but it says hold standby power and test for 10 seconds. I've seen a lot of pilots just do it for a couple. I assume until the green light comes on, and then you could standby power on. Alright, there's our standby power instrument. Alright, left battery, right battery coming on. And system startup. Well, it takes a few minutes for all the, systems to align. So we've got the primary flight display. It's obviously aligning the flight controls and the navigation system. So yeah, I normally like to have the panel lights right down, floodlight kind of on, probably on max, but up there. We have no passengers, but it's fun to hit them anyway, follow the procedure. So that could be totally incorrect too. I've seen some pilots turn them on straight away, and I've seen others not turn them on until they left taxi, so I'm really not sure. Right, so everything's starting up here. We'll get our brightness kind of turned down just a little bit. It's a little bit bright. Alright, there we go. This one's the worst I've seen. Oh, there we go. It's right there. Then we can turn the turn this one down. So this one, this one's good. Turn it a little bit. Okay. Alright, so this is the Cessna Longitude. So you've got 3 screens. Pretty much you've got 2, if you come from like flying Boeing or Airbus, you've got your primary flight display, you've got your navigation display, and you've got your other PFD over there. Now, these can all split up. So you can do, I can turn that to full, turn that to half, and then this left one controls this. Then the right controller controls this. So these are like your kind of FMCs or flight management computers for each side, like pilot, co-pilot. And these are kind of like your navigation radios and other things like speed, ref speeds, and then you've got the PFD map settings. So this is pretty much a controller also that controls this PFD. So it's really cool. You can do a lot in this aircraft, and it took me a while. I didn't really know how much you could do. So it's a really cool aircraft, and I think, is it 45,000 feet or 43? No, I think it's 45,000 feet. This can go up to in cruise. So it's a wicked airplane. Like you can overtake most airliners in cruise. Mainly because your ground speed will be a lot higher, obviously depending on the winds, but you're higher up if there's there's less dense air. If you've got good winds and the jet stream isn't kind of near you, then it could work in your favor depending on if you're going east or west. But But yeah, so usually how I like to fly is I usually have this kind of maxed out because you want to see where you're going, right? Like that's your biggest thing. You want to see like your route. So most important, you want to see your waypoints. This has got the weather on it too. So look at that. Like look how far it's zoomed out. That's just insane. And then you can do, so you can actually click on that and you can actually, so left mouse click and drag in the direction you want to go. This is a little bit kind of like gimmicky, but it works for the most part. So that's really cool. You can just kind of free drag on your route, so that's awesome. And then over here, I pretty much have the navigation display over here like that. And you can use this top bar to kind of zoom out. Oh, oops, I wasn't on it properly. Yeah, you can kind of zoom out like that or zoom in. So I find this really handy for if you're concentrating on your altitude or pressure or speed or whatever. You can just have a quick like all your legs and then the track and then the altitude you're supposed to be at. Because sometimes looking over here, there's that many things your kind of eyes are wondering. But get all your engine stuff just in this top part, fuel in the middle. So total quantity, left tank, right tank. And in this plane, when the APU is running, it actually takes fuel from the right tank. So you'll have to use the fuel transfer and balance them out as you kind of go onto your takeoff phase, I guess, and then they should be kind of balanced. Normally, I think pilots don't turn this APU off until you're in climb, just as a bit of a backup in case something happens. So actually, you should have the APU on by now, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. Now your autopilot, pretty similar to all your Boeings and Airbuses. Not really Airbus, but pretty similar to your Boeing. So you've got your autopilot master on off. Right, you got your flight director just on your primary flight display. Vertical speed, it's just vertical speed, pretty simple. DNAV, vertical navigation, same as the Boeing. Flight level change, flight level change. Only thing about this is VNAV doesn't work, as far as I know, in climb. It only works in descent. So, yeah, so usually when you're climbing out, you'll use flight level change and it'll pretty much climb you at whatever rate to keep your speed at either 250 or whatever speed you've selected. It'll just keep that rate of climb to have your speed the same. Or obviously, if you're climbing out and ATC needs you to expedite your climb to get up to an altitude to clear the airspace, then you'll use vertical speed and obviously keep an eye on your speed and choose a minimum and kind of climb as fast as you can. As high as you can at whatever speed you can. I think that's like a bank angle limiter. I don't ever use that. Heading select, it's just heading select. Now, navigation is LNAV. So VNAV, LNAV on the Boeing, this is just LNAV. So that'll stick to your route laterally. Approach, so that's your approach when you're about to intercept an ILS or any kind of approach like that. It's your approach button. Linked with your two nav1 and nav2 radios. But the cool thing about this is when so I'll do a tour of this in a second, but in the flight plan menu, you have your flight plan. So origin and rest. So just for kind of an example, I'll just add I'm sure I'll have a Canberra to Sydney. Yeah, there we go, Canberra to Sydney. Perfect. All right, so that's kind of what it looks like. So it's a little bit different to get used to than like a Boeing, but yeah. So you've got Canberra, runway 35, column 2 departure. So the procedure is like the trying to think of it, the departure arrival tab. So you've got departure, arrival, and approach. So you can load them in. So you can like load an approach in, load without activating it. So they'll load the approach into Sydney, And then when you are flying and you get cleared for that, you can go activate approach and it'll activate it. And what it'll also do is it'll also put the ILS localizer frequency in on these two. So then all you need to do is activate them when you're at the right time. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like I love on this the user friendliness, so it's like really easy if you've got all the info at your fingertips. You're not having to go through different pages on your flight management computer, which is also really fun on the Boeings, especially if you've got like a touch tablet and you can have the what's it called, Sogo CDU or whatever. This shows you kind of all your stuff. So up here you'll have a live kind of view of your waypoints, distance, the altitude restriction at the waypoint, the fuel remaining at the waypoint, like the leg ETA and the ETA that you'll arrive at the waypoint. And once you reach cruise, you'll have a top of descent countdown timer and distance to go, etc. So, and then on the top here, you'll have ground, and you can change all this too. You'll have ground speed, track. You can have ETA, but I use landing instead. So, fuel on board. That's supposed to be fuel on board over destination. So, that's not entirely correct, but it's not too bad. It's kind of accurate. Seems to work. Endurance. So we've got 6 hours of fuel. I'm pretty sure there's a full tank, so we've got way too much. Oh, there's half tank. So if we just turn that to full, you can see what's that? Like 11 hours of fuel, 10 hours of fuel. Then you'll have a landing time in Zulu, so that's what time you'll be estimated on the ground at your arrival. And that's how long you've got left until your landing time. So those two are really nice to just glance over and be like, oh yeah, I've got 20 minutes left, or oh yeah, I've got an hour left, and then you can see how long you've got till top descent, so you can go make a coffee or something while you're in cruise and not have to stress. Yeah, but on this is a flight management computer. So they're both identical. They're just controlled different screens. But you've got your map, okay, and you've got a few settings on your map. So you've got traffic on and off. So you can have traffic overlay on this, which is awesome. Oh, put the gear back in. You can have terrain, so terrain overlay. You can have the Connex radar, which is your weather radar. So you can see that overlay there now. That is awesome. You can have track vector, wind vector, different times, map detail. So you can have all your airspaces and stuff. So that's really cool. Traffic, you can just have a traffic map. So sometimes people, like you might want your traffic map to be here when you're taking off or whatever, so you can see who's around you. But your traffic does overlay on this. It's just a bit hard to see because you've got all the other stuff kind of going on. But yeah, but there's a transponder there. Then you get weather. So you can just have a black screen with weather, or you can actually have the weather radar. And you can go radar on, display mode, weather. Okay. Horizontal or vertical. Obviously, when you're up in the air. Probably don't want to turn this on the ground, you'll probably fry or microwave whoever's standing in that parking lot there. So we'll turn that off. Yeah, so direct to, just a nice quick direct to and click it and done. Flight plan. So I've already kind of gone through this. Direct to, procedure, departure, airport. So you can go whatever airport, departure, scroll through the departures, transitions, if there is any, runway available for that departure, and you can preview it. So you can show them that. It'll show us kind of a pretty much straight at departure for it. It's just really nice. Like, it's really nice to just have that on a big screen. Like, it's just awesome. Yeah, because in Boeings, you're sitting there stepping through the legs page to try and see it, which is really nice too, but it's cool to have it on a big screen. What else you got? Yeah, approach. So you can go show on that, preview for the approach. There you go. Just a straight line to localize it. What else? Flight plan options. Oh, sorry, VDO. So this is pretty cool. So climb, you can do climb schedule. So whatever this is set to, when you're in flight level change, this will do whatever you select. So if you go high speed climb, I sometimes do that just to like get out of the area quickly. So 300 knots if you've been cleared to, obviously, if you're past 10,000 feet or if ATC's told you to cancel speed restrictions in the area. And then cruise. So you can select your cruise speed and you can select your descent schedule. So you can do 300 knots, Mach 0.8, altitude speed limit. So anything like that should be set to 250 below 10,000, not 23,000. That was me manually getting it slowed down the other day. Certain area speed limit. That's just really cool stuff to set in, and then that's just what it'll always fly, regardless of stuff. So flight plan options, show on that, so you can do an overview of your flight plan. So you can kind of see a real narrow white line. And you can zoom in on all this too. Zoom in and you can move around. But yeah. You can delete the flight plan. So sometimes in a Boeing it gets real complicated trying to delete and like redo, when you've already selected depart from a role, you can just go boom delete, select a new flight plan. It's just nice and easy. I think the coolest thing on here, so you've got procedures again, but that just takes you to the procedure page, is charts. So this is integrated into SimBrief. Into SimBrief? No, into Navigraph charts, sorry. Oh, and SimBrief. But so here's the airport chart. This is really cool. Like sometimes I extend this under another monitor. So you can just be sitting there and you can actually literally just taxi and you can see all your runways, all your taxiways, like it's really cool. This has everything, like airport ops, low visibility operations. It's unfortunate that kind of lower quality, you really have to kind of zoom in to see it, which is fine. Got an arrival. So the Bungo 5 Alpha. You can zoom in and kind of see all that. And the approach, I often have these, and you'll actually see a lot of pilots have these up over here. So you can have, we can go chart selection approach, and you can have that up over there, mainly because it just fits perfectly. Like you zoom in a little bit, just enough so you can get the localizer. We've got the force, the frequency, and you've got the glide slope into the runway and what altitude. So 5,100 feet. That'll be your intercept, 348 and CATIA. So, and then you've got your missed approach. So track 348 degrees, climb to 5,100 or as directed by air traffic control. So that's awesome. But we'll go back to the map. So aircraft system. So this is usually on another one. On like the start of the flight, you'll go through all your systems. So you've got your electrical, you've got your hydraulics, 0 psi because the engines aren't started. You've got your fuel, anti-ice. It's not like automatic engine anti-ice, but it's also got it over here. Bleed. So you have engine air bleeds, flight controls. So this is one of the checks that we'll do when we do a pre-flight on one of our next videos. Flaps. So, and then we can do summary. So electrical, hydraulic, brakes, ECS, lights, and O2 pressure. Summary of all that. Oh, sorry. And pre-flight. So this is a big thing in our checklist that we go through. So propulsion, engine shutdown, dry motor. So that'll be once we start up, that'll come good. Fuel pressure left, fuel pressure right, pending. Haven't started the engines. Power on. That's all you bleed. Power stuff. Taxi. You can do spoilers. So you could do spoilers on, spoilers off. Taxi. That's right. I just said that. So no takeoff if stuff is yellow. So park brake, check, green. So that's off, that's back on. Stabilizer true. You can see over here stabilizer is not in the green, so if you put that in the green, it'll there you go, so that's off, good to go. And flaps one, set. So now it's saying all in green, which is good to take off. You got cabin pressure, temp. Yeah, you can change the temp, but not that does anything. Stereo lights, beacon. The beacon's automatic, so when you start the engines, the beacon automatically comes on. But you can manually turn it on if you want, and it automatically, I'm pretty sure, goes off when you turn off the engines. So, yes. What else? Simbrief. Yeah, I did that before when we can import a flight plan. So that's awesome. Performance. Oh, sorry. Oh, can't help myself. Takeoff data. So Canberra, runway 35. Weather. You can load, use the Ram air turbine. So 24 degrees Celsius, show the meter. Takeoff config. Flaps 1. Well, you do this as you know, for what it is on the day that you take off. Landing data. Weather. So you can show the meter for the landing location. Landing config. And speed bugs. So that's how you activate your V1, VR, rotate, V2, and V final takeoff, and V approach and V ref for your landing. Weight and fuel. So this is a bit weird. So the weight and fuel you have to do through the weight balance bar manually. This is fine. And then the cruise stores, I do it off Simbrief, but you can just come here and check that it matches. Your payload, 1 passenger, cargo. Takeoff. Yeah, I fob stick it just to make sure that it's what it's supposed to be. Otherwise, you'll have worse performance, or your fuel, weather, whatever, will burn through more fuel than you need. Flap speeds, has all your flaps. Yeah, this is the coolest part, in my opinion. Waypoint info, airport. Let's just go Canberra. So YSSY, enter. So Canberra, bearing 20. What's that? Oh, that's coordinates. And then you've got the elevation, so 1868 feet. It's actually quite high. I suppose it's on the Great Body Range. They're all the frequencies. Weather. This is my favorite thing, because when you're coming into an airport, like when you're on the descent or you're in cruise, you just get up the weather tab and you just kind of have a look in here. Oh yeah, and then you've pretty much got the ATIS. You got altimeter. That's the most important. I look for altimeter. Clouds, visibility, wind gusts. It's actually quite gusty here. There's some trees I can. No, not really. Alright. Yeah, so that's the coolest thing. And then from here, you can just get back to that charts page, runways. Now, this is the length of the runways. So, 1735, 8,000 feet, 150 wide. So, yeah, so procedures. That's really cool. Really handy to have. Then your radios. So you've got COM1, COM2, transponders over here. So some reason your transponder works on altitude reporting when it's on. I think that just is like when you're on the ground, and then that's when you're in the air. Transponder code, enter, and then you turn altitude reporting. Yeah, your radios, it's just COM1, and then when you press that, it just switches between them. So if I go like, if I just do a random one, it just switches between them. So COM1 standby. And then you can have like another 2 set in here, and then you just flip the mic over. and just go boom and stand by between these two. So it's really user friendly, really handy. Same over here, you can do it over here, like you can flip wherever. So this is your nav source. So this is like LNAV, what it's going to follow. So when you activate an approach through the Flightsim page, when you go procedure, approach, and you activate it, once you've cleared that approach from air traffic control, this will automatically switch to localizer 1. So what that means is the nav or the approach will follow the localizer into land laterally, not vertically. Vertically as well on the glass loop. I think I had that before as FMS, but I don't think I'd activated the approach. It does it all automatically, so it takes out like 4 steps you have to do with like 737. So it's pretty cool. Minimums, so you can actually enter your minimums. So 250, or enter, and then it'll go like minimums. When you're coming down. So that's awesome. But yeah, it's a real simple aircraft. Like you fly it a few times and you kind of like, oh yeah, whatever. It's pretty cool. But when you really start using all the features and stuff, like it's really fun to fly. And it's really fun to fly at like 43,000 feet, 44, well not probably, I don't really fly that high. Maybe like 43, or it depends on the winds, I try to look for like what's going to be the best level, the cruise winds. You want to go fast and you want to burn as little fuel as possible. So, yeah, and then up here you've got landing lights, so that's 2 lights under here. Get stand fence in mode. Anyway, you can see them. Taxi light will be the one, so taxi light's just on the front there, just here. And keep pressing. And then your recog lights, it's just like landing lights and the lower drivers, the same 2 lights. And pulse, so you can go to recog and pulse, and all that is recog, but it pulses. So just on, off, or it's like dim. So bit of it off. Wing inspection lights, they're just the same as wing lights on a Boeing, so they just illuminate the leading edge of the wing to check for ice buildup. Anti-collision, that's the same as most Boeings under here. So a little dome just here. What else we got? And tail flood, that's just tail flood. So it just illuminates the tail light at night. Flick that back to the night, see shit. Damn, hangers illuminating. Yeah, great. Anyway, that's just a little light. You can see it there. It's just on the top, illuminating down. So, but yeah. So anyway, pretty much it. Like down here, you've got you've got throttles, speed brake. This is your brightness. That's the FMC. That's the navigation. It's trim, backup trim, because you'll have trim. You'll have your main trim just here. Park brake, just like a handbrake in the car, which is pretty cool. APU, and then this stuff's all automatic. This is all your engine bleeds. So I think I've got the panel set up here. So we've got like left engine bleed air, right engine bleed air, APU bleed isolate, flow, and this will all come up on your hydraulic page. Your bleed air page if you want to see like where it's all going. You don't have to touch any of this at all. It just is like automatic. So this is your engine start. So you put it in run. You wait for 32 psi in the starter, which is not happening because what is it not happening? I don't even know. Maybe because I've done something or I haven't started up properly. I'm not even worried about that. But yeah, you put it in run, wait 32 psi, then press the starter. So this will start the engine rotation and then like the M2 rotation. But then you just do the same to the left. And then it's like bam, engines are started. So what do we got? Fuel transfer right to left, transfer off, transfer left to right. So that's if the APU is using too much fuel from the right tank, which you can see here, it's down to 7220. This is 7240. So you would balance it and you would transfer right to left to keep balanced. This is the, I think it's the power, something to do with power, I'm not too sure. Hydraulic pumps to run a standby, boost pumps, and the flaps. Yeah, so, yeah, like I said, there's not a lot to it. Trying to see if I've got a shortcut for the, no I haven't, but just the co-pilot side. So he's got onto tune display something mic select. That's all inoperative. Flight hour meter, so total hours. Oh my god, is that actually? I wonder if that's real. I've never actually looked at that before. That's really cool. Huh. Okay, I need to learn what this is. I've never even looked at that before. It's probably something crucial. That's hilarious. And this is all your ice protect. Static. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. That's a pretty basic video, kind of what everything does, and well, not what it does, but all the systems and screens, and yeah, I just want to show off how awesome little aircraft this is. And like I said, it seems simple, but it's once you really get to know it, fly it, it's an awesome little aircraft. Like it climbs like a rocket, it cruises like a rocket. It it does feel pretty small. Like when you're flying into an airport, you can tell you're flying a real small plane. Probably totally different in real life. But when you're used to flying a 777 or a 737, where you've got that like slosh and like it's a big plane, this thing's like a little rocket, like touching down. Like you just every control's like real kind of instant, and I guess that's a good thing. But I think sometimes I do miss the big planes, and I guess like in a 737, there's a lot more to do. So it's kind of more exciting, to be able to do like the whole overhead panel and stuff. But I think while you're starting out and stuff, this is a really good aircraft because if you can learn it, it's got all the systems just in a real simplified form, and you can get really used to like all the IFR stuff, VFR, and just simple stuff like engine starting and bleed air and fuel pumps and all that kind of stuff that in the 737 when you look up and you're just like, oh my god, So anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.